deep world of the arts. Seema Nanoo is a visual artist and poet who joins us today for a chat about how she made the move to ditch the suits for her paintbrush. Welcome to Vbuzz, Seema.
No, it's an absolute pleasure having you here because you give hope to people who are stuck in a job and yet can stay, chase their dreams and make it a reality. But if you go back in time to, you as a child, were you one of those kids who, when growing up, would just grab anything and just create something, a piece of art, a drawing, or anything for that fact?
Actually, that's the furthest from the truth. I had nothing artistic, if you say artistic as in painting and drawing, no such stuff in me at that time.
Yeah.
If anything artistic, I was, you see, my brother and my sister, they studied in boarding school from a very young age. So I grew up almost like an only child for a couple of years. So my days were spent in the garden, amongst the bushes, with my imaginative world and creating stories and friends all in my mind. So that's as far as creativity went at that time. But over the years, I picked up poetry, again influenced by my brother, because once I saw a piece of paper and I saw these writings, looks interesting, I'm going to try that. So I developed that over the years. Then of course, as all Asian parents, got to get your degree, and nothing artistic, everything in science. And I just followed through. I believed in that whole thing that,
System.
yeah, that's how it is.
All right, fantastic. Now, Seema, it was very interesting today because when you walked into our studio, you met one of our makeup artists, Devi, and she gave us a little insight about what was perhaps your first venture into the arts, which was makeup. Tell us more about it. What drew you to makeup?
Okay, firstly, I was working in the corporate world for about 10 years by that time. And but there was a restlessness within me. I just knew it's just not right. Something is missing. That whole idea of wanting to climb the corporate ladder just kind of like slowly, whizzed down. And I thought, okay, started searching and asking questions. Normally, I don't watch Oprah Winfrey, but that particular day, I just switched on the telly, and that was her program. And I saw these a whole bunch of ladies who walked onto the stage looking very, the energy was very low, their body language was stooped, and you can see the whole persona there. And Oprah said, okay, now go back to the makeup room, you're going to have a makeover. And they walked back onto the stage like, there's a whole bounce in their step, their eyes were glowing.
They looked alive again.
Yes, and smiling and happy. And I thought, it's so amazing to be able to bring that joy to someone. So immediately, Devi was my makeup artist as a bride. So I called her up, I said, would you be willing to teach me how to do this? So I went and worked with her for a while and went on my own, and that was my first step.
So that was makeup per se. And would you say that was the moment in time when you made that decision that I'm done with the corporate world and you switched over to the world of arts? Was that your gateway?
In a sense, yes, but it was never like a full stop.
Okay.
I just was like, kind of like following this wave that was taking me somewhere, but I just didn't know where it was heading to. It's like as though the universe conspired to put these things along the way to lead me to this door called art.
It perhaps is the universe, but we know the story of you walking in and meeting your current mentor, Jagannathan Ramachandran, and you bought a piece of art from him.
Yes.
Many things has happened ever since. How do you say, would you say your mentor influences your art these days?
Definitely, because my whole introduction to art came through him. And the techniques, the way of presenting my thoughts, I learned from him. Of course, the ideas are mine, but how to put it across came from him.
What mediums did you start off with when you wanted to express your art? What did you the very first thing you can remember working with?
Okay, the first thing was my first time in class, pencil and paper, trying to draw something.
Yeah.
So, which was a struggle because I didn't come from that
Yeah.
background, but somehow persevered. And then, because the nature of him was such that if you're coming to my class as a hobbyist, please leave the class.
Wow.
You come here if you're thinking your end game is to exhibit. So that changed that whole perception. So soon after that, I was going to canvas and working with acrylics.
Wow.
Very nice. Now, you've also ventured into more interactive art. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Okay, interactive art is something like where I customize a painting. So usually it's through recommendation, and I will talk to them, get their date of birth, time of birth, their names. It is a system developed by Jigannathan, and I kind of like chart out their energy pattern.
Oh,
Wow. You have to tell us, how do you do that?
Just by these details, it's nothing to do with astrology, it's nothing to do with numerology,
Okay.
but it is according to the days that you're born, and each day, each time gives a certain personality. So you would know in the family, okay, out of the 4 person, 1 person, his energy is very strong, and it's subduing the one that is the weakest. And then the complexities, then you can see, okay, so I need to bring this energy out.
Okay.
Maybe, manage this energy so that he's sharing it to the rest.
You have a background in law and in history itself. Does that ever, help you inspire with works of art when you work on something?
Art in the sense that it helped, law in the sense that it helped to broaden my mind.
Yeah.
Really, because in law you're reading so much, you're doing research, and that's as far as it goes. But I think more having worked in the corporate world, meeting different people, having all that reservoir of experiences helped in my work.
Yeah. Seema, it must have been a very bold move. It is a very bold move to just ditch the corporate world and go into the arts full time. How would you say venturing into the arts has changed you as a person?
Oh, it changed me tremendously. It's like all the different parts of the jigsaw puzzle came together with art. I had parts of me in different areas. Now I can put it all together, and that's me. So I'm very happy, and it's been good.
Does words and art go hand in hand? Poetry and your paintings, have they ever merged into something beautiful for you?
Yes, because normally every painting of mine comes with a poetry.
Yes.
And sometimes the poetry starts the painting.
Wow.
And sometimes the painting gives out a poem.
All right,
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, tell us about one of your more recent works. What are you working on currently?
Okay, right now I have an exhibition going on. It's a group exhibition. So that was on Merdeka. So that work was especially to give an insight as an Indian, how my thoughts are towards independence. Yes.
Okay. And what was the type of research that you had to put in to create that piece of art?
Okay, when I had this theme given to me, I was like in 2 minds, because we were firstly told nothing controversial. So how am I going to put across, because I have very strong opinions. And then I looked back and I thought, okay, I think as the Indian community, we've always had that struggle. We have, I think, the widest gap between the haves and the have-nots. And throughout the decades, somehow people are making it. So I felt the youth of today needs to know that no matter what your background is, people are still breaking out of it and making it happen.
Is there a topic that's a bit too taboo that you'd never touch? Or is it always an open canvas? You will always try and express your thoughts and opinion with regards to any subject?
Yeah, I would.
Not
But of course, the way I convey it, I'm a bit of a romantic. So my words generally would have poetry in it.
Yeah.
So even if it's a really strong, controversial statement that I'm making, it may not come out as harsh. Yeah.
All right. Now, Seema, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting the person in flesh, because I've been adoring all your paintings. They're very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on Vbuzz, and we hope you keep on painting and creating more wonderful pieces of art. Thank you so much, Seema.
As they say, a picture says 1,000 words, isn't it?
It does. Now, we don't say 1,000 words, but just a few words about next week's episode.